Hi and welcome. In this chapter, we will discuss about network ACL or access control list. So, by definition, a network access control list is an optional layer of security for your VPC that act as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of one or more subnets. So, in order to understand this, first we'll go back to our security groups which we covered in the earlier chapter. So, for example, let's say you have a VPC. So, in this VPC, you have two subnets, subnet 1 and subnet 2. So, earlier we used to deploy virtual machines on the subnets. Let's say I have two virtual machines. So, similarly, here we have two virtual machines. So, any incoming traffic to this virtual machine or any outgoing traffic from this virtual machine, it is controlled by something called security group. So this is nothing but a kind of firewall which will control incoming and outgoing traffic. This security group which works on the instance level or virtual machine level. For example, let's say you have a security group, and in this security group you have some inbound and outbound rules. So this security group we can attach to multiple AWS instance. For example, the same security group we can apply over here. So let's say if we have multiple VMs in this subnet, you can apply the same security group to multiple virtual machines. Similarly, for example, let's say you have one more security group for the another subnet. Similarly, you can attach this security group so that it can control your incoming and outbound traffic on the virtual machine level. So this is one layer of security. So AWS has one more layer of security which is called as network ACL. So the network ACL which is applied on the subnet level. So this is the main difference. Earlier we used to apply on the instance level. The ACL will be applied on the subnet level. For example, let's say you have a ACL here as well as ACL for this another subnet. So in this ACL, you will define your incoming rule as well as outgoing rule. So similarly here, inbound rule as well as outbound rule. So once you have this in place, so any traffic which is coming into your virtual machine or any traffic which is going out of your virtual machine, first it should go through the ACL. So the ACL rule will get checked first, and then it will go to the security group. So once it is passes the security group, then it will reach the VM. So technically, let's imagine you have a VPC. So in this VPC, you have a subnet. So let's say this is the subnet one. So here you have a virtual machines. So in order to communicate to internet or in order to communicate from internet to this virtual machine, now it has to pass through two security layer. One is ACL, which is attached to the subnet. Another is security group, which is attached to our virtual machine itself. So if you have allow rule in both of this ACL as well as security group, then only you will able to connect to your VM. Similarly, from the VM, if you wanted to access the internet, first it will go to the security group, and then it will pass the ACL, and then it will go to the internet. This is how network ACL work on the Amazon Web Services on the subnet level.